Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. And we have an awesome guest with us today. He's been on panels at both KW's Mega Camp and Family Reunion. We're going to talk about how he's built his team, how he's appealing to sellers, but most importantly, we're going to talk about how they generate a ton of deals every year from agent referrals and how they specifically and very intentionally keep in touch with agents in their referral database to generate those referral deals. So we'll get to him in a second. In the meantime, we have the always difficult to handle Greg McDaniel in the co-pilot seat today.
Yeah, baby, here we go. This is party time now.
Yeah, I may lose my certification, my credentials as a certified Greg Wrangler on this episode today, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, you are on, so, we're watching it closely, pal, okay? Because you're kind of losing your mojo, and we're a little worried about you, and if you get a couple more of these calls wrong, you got to go, man. You got to start back at ground zero. But I got to tell you, something.
Farm leagues or something? Like the podcasting farm leagues? What's going on?
Yes, back down to AAA. No longer major,
like Tuscaloosa and do some realtor podcasts out there.
Yes, you're banished to the outlands. No,
like
dude.
The deep.
So check it out. I was sexually harassed today. Yes, it was very weird. So here, let me show you. I have socks like this, very bright, which Matt probably hates me for that. But I'll tell you one thing. These two ladies in my office, they're like, "Hey, Greg, nice socks." I'm like, "Thanks, ladies." They're like, "Do your underpants match your socks?" And I'm like, I feel so awkward and I feel violated, and now I know how women go through. I had a connection moment with all the women out in the world, and I will never ask if their socks match their panties ever again. It was horrible.
Wow, I hope so, because that question doesn't even make sense to a girl.
No, it doesn't, because well, it could, because they're wearing sandals.
All right. This show is taking a horrible turn for the worse. Let's bring in our special guest. Before it gets any worse than that, Josh Anderson. Josh, how's it going today?
Doing well. I appreciate the opportunity.
We're pumped, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and we appreciate in advance you rolling with the punches today.
That's right.
Hey,
good stuff.
We're only talking about flip-flops, man. I don't know what's so weird. Damn.
Yeah. All right. So, Josh, give us the 60-second bio on who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Yeah. So I have a team in Nashville, Tennessee. We did in 2015 about 239 transactions, 81 million in volume, and we've got myself and four other agents, and then the rest is all administrative. So we've got about 7 admin that take care of all of our contract to close, our marketing, branding, couple of virtual assistants behind the scene doing a lot of data entry and things like that. So we're staying busy.
Cool. You said 239 deals?
Couldn't make it to 240, just 239.
Damn it, that elusive 240. We were this close.
I know, right?
One more phone call, right? One more phone call, people. Let's come together as a team next year. We got to hit that 240.
Right.
That seriously is impressive, man. I mean, that is epic. What's your average sales price with you guys?
About it was 380 last year.
380. Wow. You see that climbing? I mean, given the fact that you guys are kind of like the it town right now.
It's probably gone down a little bit this year just because we did more investor deals, and some of our builders and developers bought tear downs or something along those lines, and so it's gone down, but we're really trying to bring that back up for 2017.
Interesting. Yeah. Where do you see a lot of your buyers coming from? I mean, I know that people are flocking to your neck of the woods. Are you tracking that, kind of seeing where they're coming from?
Yeah, so 73% of our business came from some type of past client referral, agent referral, something along those lines that came from our sphere of influence.
73%. So that means you're mining the snot out of your sphere and your database and everything else. Is there a specific either system or procedure or something that you're doing that's making a 73% dent into your database? That's epic.
Yeah, it's picking up the phone, and it's as boring as it is. I tell people my business is extremely. It's not sexy. It's not it's very consistent, which is kind of boring and again not sexy, but it's very reliable. So,
right. It's that horrible 4-letter word that we hate to hear. It's called work. Yeah. I get it. It's a cuss word in the real estate industry. I get cussed at all the time when I talk about work as well. But
yeah, but it's a lot easier to pick up the phone and talk to your database than it is to pick up the phone and get a hold of an internet buyer lead.
Oh, God.
That's right.
Yeah,
it is. But I think that people don't want to get rejected by their database. So it's easier to call an internet lead and tell them, that person slam the phone on you, cuss you out. You could be sitting next to them in the grocery line and you'd have no clue it was them.
Yeah.
But if it was your cousin or aunt or uncle, you'd be devastated.
You would, but you have to learn how to accept the word no. I mean, Josh,
Sure.
have you read the book Go for No yet?
Yeah, about 7 times.
I love that freaking book, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of like you, I'm an epic cold caller. I do cold calls. That's kind of like my thing. I like it. I'll do data. But I mean, it is about just sitting your butt down in the damn seat, making a flipping phone calls. You know, they're not going to be writing any pop songs about how sexy you are and all the bling bling you'll be rolling around, all the the chicks you'll be pimping. But I mean, it's going to be getting the job done. Put money in the wall.
I think most agents are always looking for something. I mean, they're looking for a different something, some silver bullet, new magic, the nugget that's going to make them the next 6 figures. And really, at the end of the day, that's
the
right.
easy button. Well, this isn't the easy button. This represents the easy button. We're not going to play
that one's even better than the easy button.
Yes, it is. I don't want to play it so bad.
Don't do that.
It's just so it's easy to. I come into my office. It's my calendar is extremely predictable, time blocked. It's from 8 to 12 every day. I'm making phone calls. Today I have no appointments on my calendar other than this. I was literally in the office. I made 74 contacts today, and so just dialing.
Wait, now, are you using a dialer like Mojo or Vulcan or something like that, or are you doing like with your Nugget?
Just my little nugget.
You're the nugget of goodness here.
Yeah. I mean, I've used dialers, but I get into my database and I just call.
Yeah.
And I just do it.
So here, Josh, I want to go over that really quickly with you. A lot of, like you talked about earlier, a lot of people are really afraid of the rejection. Oops, just hit the mic. Afraid of the rejection aspect of calling and talking to your database.
Right.
How do you get yourself mentally prepared to hear maybe one of your past clients, maybe a distant relative or something like that, that may have done something with someone else, or they're having a crummy day? How do you handle that? I mean, what do you tell yourself? Do you tell yourself next? Do you just kind of say, keep moving? I mean, or do you take a second, internalize it, understand the fear, frustration, and kind of feel the rejection and let it go in 90 seconds? I mean, what do you do, man?
Yeah, I think for me, I think if you're always coming from contribution, I don't think anybody ever really can tell you no. That no might be not right now.
Right.
But for one, you've got to be thick-skinned. You can't take things personal. I mean, there's been times that you look on MLS and you're like, awesome, they just bought a house with some idiot that's not near as good of an agent as I am. But it happens. It's all about real estate's all about timing. It's one of those things that
as Forrest Gump would say, stupid is as stupid does.
That's right.
So you can't fix it. And if they want to be a buffoon and work with a subpar agent, God bless them, they deserve each other. It's like
that's right.
It's like you're on and your ex goes out and hangs out with some douchebag. Well, they deserve each other then. Let them keep going.
Perfect. Match made in heaven.
Exactly. It's not even an analogy. It's just the exact same thing. Anyway. All right. So I'm curious. So let me jump in here with a question. So the structure of your team, you said this basically yourself, and did you say 4 agents?
Yeah. So we've got those other agents. So I do all the listings, and then all of those agents. 3 agents are all on the buy side, and then we've got 1 agent that works in a different office about 30 miles away, and she's kind of our first expansion partner,
Awesome.
Just because we were getting more and more leads there. And the girls' average price point there was like 175, 180. And it was hard for the girls that were in our Green Hills in our Nashville proper office to go, 30 miles away for half the commission.
So is that someone that was working out of your main office that then you relocated out into that other area, or was she?
No, she was actually already out there, and we just kind of went through the interview process and interviewed her several times, and it just worked out. And so she's been a really good fit.
Yeah, and the reason that I asked that is because that we had a similar situation come up where I'm partners with Jeff Cohn on his nationwide expansion, and the first office that we opened up was Lincoln, Nebraska, which is about 45 to 50 miles like southwest of Omaha. And we actually took an agent that was in Omaha, and he volunteered to start working that market and literally drive out there several times a week to work the leads and meet with people with the intention of then moving down. So you've got a couple of different, you've got the traditional expansion approach, which is to find somebody that's already there, but it's really interesting to raise people up in your home area and send them out. So that's
I actually like that.
Expansion.
Yeah, I actually like that better, but yeah, I've kind of
Yeah.
spoiled the girls that work with me here at a 400,000 price point. They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
really interested in 175 at that point. It's like,
Yeah,
man, I
exactly.
get
Like,
it.
Yeah.
hey, we'd like you to go farther away, out from
We'd
where
love
the
you to
cool
work.
people are, and yeah,
We'd love you to drive further and make less money.
yes,
Ooh, that's a
exactly.
deal.
Yeah,
That's how
Doesn't
you
so,
sound
build
sexy.
so we have a lovely Starbucks gift card in it for you. It's $10. Buy you a nice
That's
latte.
right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
funny. All right.
business.
So tell me this. So on the ratio of admin to agent. So it seems a little high. Are the admin part-time? Are they dedicated, or is it just that you're producing such a high level of transactions per agent that
Yeah.
you need that sort of admin staff?
You know, I always go back and forth and struggle with this a little bit because I used to be the agent that had one admin, and I was like, why aren't you doing more? She was doing like our marketing. She was doing all of our contract to close. She was doing everything. And, that was in 2010
How did she not
and
kill
11.
you? Did she not? How
You
did she
know,
not take a contract out on you?
I really need to pick up the phone and probably call her and apologize because, I mean, we just worked the hell out of her. And so now I'm on the other end of the spectrum, and because almost 75% of our business is past client and referral based, we probably love on our clients and do a lot more. It's not very transactional, or at least we
Yeah.
don't like it to be transactional. So, and that's part of where one of my business coaches a long time ago kind of was relating like the week of closing to Olympic gymnastics, and it's like nobody ever remembers the second place. Nobody ever remembers their previous routines. They just remember the dismount, and so the dismount's kind of like the week of closing, and it's like you either nail it or you don't.
That's a great analogy.
Great analogy. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so basically you take that, like you're overstaffing on the admin side and pouring it all into like this concierge level service to generate more referrals, which is a great approach. What are they doing during that week of closing? Are they just picking up the phone and literally just calling every day, just making sure that they're comfortable?
I think it's just little things. I think when you've got 15, 20, 25 contracts or files at a time, they're not necessarily all closing, but we're closing 20 to 30 transactions a month. And, it's one of those things, those buyer side are so much more work than the seller sides are easy. I mean, you could do 40.
Really?
Well, you could do 4. Well, you don't have to set up inspections. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You're really kind of waiting on the buyer side to do all that. So there's a lot more it's just a lot more workload on the buy side. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things that we just like to have. It's little things. It's like sending a document and picking up the phone and calling the client and saying, hey, we just sent you a document. Just wanted to let you know it was there, because there's a lot of people that we work with that don't sit in front of their computer, or their emails aren't tied to their phone.
Yeah. We fight the same thing, over in my market as well. We have to be constantly touching base with them, always connecting with them. Hey guys, document. Hey guys, document. Hey guys, inspection for this time. I mean, it's a touch, and it does get a little bit labor intensive for sure on that side.
Well, that's what my team probably gets sick of hearing me say. For me, real estate's all about setting expectations, over communicating the important stuff, and it's all about timing. So, you get a offer in, and they get it 3 hours later, and they're like, what the hell were you doing? Why did it take 3 hours to get to me?
Right.
Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, when you're trying to get a document from them and 3 days later you're still asking them for the document, to sign it. Yeah.
At that point, you just say, screw it. I'm just going to drive to your damn house. Be
That's
home.
right.
I'll be there in 20.
Yeah.
Where are you? What mini mart are you at getting the Slurpee? I'm coming to you.
What mini mart are you at? All right. Well, that sounds like a perfect opportunity to take a quick second and give a couple of shout outs to people, and then we'll dive into Josh's background and kind of how he's built up the team, where he's going, and get into the specifics of how he's generating, I think, what was it, almost 50 agent referral deals a year. Is that right, Josh?
That's right.
Yeah. So
50 closed. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into all that stuff. So Greg, before we get to your shout outs, I just want to make mention of if everybody goes to the website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, there's two things to check out. Number one, Greg's Favorite Scripts. That's a free PDF download that's got all of Greg's favorite scripts for buyer lead follow-up, internet leads of for sellers, even down to price reduction scripts for active clients. You can go download that for free. And then if you go to the farming section, like farmlikegreg.com is the direct link. You can check out our training course for farming, where we delve into cold, warm, and hot outbound prospecting, how to select your geo farm, even down to like how to use Zillow. We got crazy in-depth on Zillow, so go check those 2 things out. And of course, we always want to make mention of Homing In, which is a really great app that a couple of friends of the show have founded, and you can go there and check it out, enter your information, sign up. It's free for both sides, both for sellers and for agents. Basically, it's a way for sellers to request home valuations from real agents rather than going and looking up a Zestimate. So if you're looking for a way to generate seller leads essentially for free right now, go check it out, pop your information in, and see if there are homeowners that are requesting valuations in your area that haven't been responded to. There may actually be seller leads waiting for you. So with all that said, Greg, who do you have to shout out?
Man, I got the greatest job on planet Earth. I get to talk to super cool people every day. But yeah, Homing In actually has, and I just got notified a second ago that they actually have another lead for me. So
awesome.
I have like 15 in there right now, and we've just been doing it for a little while. All right, I'm going to go through first names only because I have so many awesome people I get to talk to. So let's see here. I have Martha, Josh, Mike, Ryan, Maria, Amid, Brian, William, again another Brian, Brian Gilman. What up, player? Love hanging with you. Greg, Jamie, Oscar, Sue, Dan, Martha, I think I said Martha, Michael, Josh, of course, Neely, you big player, you, Caitlin, Al, oh gosh, let's go to Shannon and Jonathan. You guys are awesome. I love the messages. I love the Facebook. I love the text message engagement. Guys, McDaniel Challenge is the free hour to 2 hours of coaching that we talk about all the time on the show. If you are been on the fence, get your ass off the damn fence. All right, your fence board is gonna go right up your butt. It's gonna be uncomfortable because all of a sudden you're gonna figure out that you're not gonna be even in 2017, bitches. You're gonna be like 2018. Nobody likes 2018 people. I am booked out. I'm trying to find my stupid calendar. There it is.
Let's say it's end of May, essentially, of 2000.
It's actually.
Right? Are you in June already?
No, thank God. I'm May 16th right now. As of this recording right now. Get a hold of me, guys. We'll talk more about what the McDaniel Challenge is at the end of the show, so stick around.
That's right. All right.
There's my bait and my hook.
That's right. And Greg's number, if you don't already know it, as I have, which has been burned into my memory by repetition, it's 925-915-1978. Thank you very much for that, Greg.
Or just follow me on Facebook, guys. They will get the same thing. It will be burned in your brain as well.
Exactly. All right, Josh. So let's go back to you. So take us back. I mean, what did you do before you got into real estate, and how did you start your team?
Yeah. So I graduated in finance and economics from LSU. Awesome. And so moved to Nashville. I wasn't sure where I was going to go, but one of my brothers moved here. Moved to Nashville, worked at an investment bank for a year. Then I worked at another private client asset firm. And so I never really had any intentions of getting into real estate. And I got my real estate license to buy an investment property, and I was miserable enough that it kind of came to a head, and I just got into real estate and ended up loving it. It was like after my first deal, I was like addicted like crack. It was.
Well, and it makes a little bit more sense, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I deal a little bit with the financial services industry with another business. But so the financial advisors are very, very used to and comfortable generating almost 100% of their leads through referral, client events, networking, nonprofits, and all that stuff. Did you kind of take that approach with you into real estate because of your background in financial services?
It was one of those things that I really I didn't have to do that at the investment bank. I worked kind of in research and on the sales floor, but it wasn't like a financial advisor or wealth manager. But I have enough of them as clients that all they do all day long is like they meet people for coffees and ask for referrals. And I mean, it's a similar. I mean, it's kind of like the Northwestern guys. I mean, they just hammer out meetings. I mean, their goal is to get like 6 or 8 face-to-face meetings a day. It's crazy.
Matt, you would never survive in that business. I mean, that many
be all jacked up on coffee all the time.
Well, I would be on jacked up on coffee all the time, but no, that is essentially except mine is a mix of, like, if mine is like, let's say 70 to 80% phone call, maybe 5 or 10% in person. But no, that's exactly my business model, is to connect with other people that are potential clients and referral partners, and just stack them up. 5 meetings a day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my goal. So I'm very, very similar to a financial advisor in that way. But yeah, I mean, Greg, you talk about the 60-day challenge for that exact same reason. Like, just go to a coffee shop, let people know that you're there, set appointments if you can, and just start stacking them back to back and talk to people and let yourself be seen by other people talking to people about real estate, because then that generates natural referrals.
Yeah, it creates the buzz around you. I mean, even if the people you're talking to don't want to do buying or selling or don't know anybody, that's fine. Maybe Jeff, 2 seats away, is over here and listening to your conversation, grows a pair, comes over and talks to you. And he's like, hey, man, I heard about this. And boom, now you have a client or maybe a referral to another client. It's just, social media has taken us as a human species being social and just crushed it. Because we want to hide behind a screen of a pad, a smartphone or something like that. When if you just go out and, if Josh, you knew I didn't know each other and we're down at Starbucks and I was talking to Matt, who I just sat down next to, about real estate, and all of a sudden there's something kind of sparked in your mind because you and your wife were just talking about an investment property, and, Matt left, to go feed his 3 obese babies, those little wood denters, and meet up with his wife Julie, because they both need to hold down the children and give them insulin shots, because those things are feisty, man. Those fat little bastards are feisty. They got some fat man strength going on up there. And then
my fake kids have fat man strength now.
Of course they do. They're obese babies. But no, and then Josh and I have an opportunity to interact.
Oh, the good stuff.
It's the fun. It's the just getting out there, man. It's a tackling, blocking and tackling sport. Just, get out there and hang out with folks. If you here's the challenge. I keep saying it, guys, and I'm going to building my business plan for 2017. And, Josh, take this and use it with your people, because it worked for a guy that I know that did 2,500 deals consistently at his apex of his business. All about came around handing out 25 McDaniel Callahan business cards every single day. And I appreciate it. I'll give you a 30% referral just down in your neck of the woods. How's that?
Perfect. Love it.
All right, Josh. So when you made this transition, give me kind of the progression of how it grew and maybe when you added that first agent, because we know you rode your assistant into the ground or to death or whatever happened to her.
Yeah.
So you was you and an assistant for how long before you brought somebody else on?
So I got in the business in April of 2006. I was the genius that got in, right here, and it was starting.
That was me, man, right here.
Perfect. I think I realized about 3 transactions in, I needed an assistant because I'm awful at paperwork. I mean, just awful. I remember at some point the dreadful time when you have to call a client and tell them you lost the earnest money check. It was lodged. It was lodged underneath my the passenger seat of my car. It's awesome. And then you find it 12 minutes after you make the phone call, and you're like, geez, that's awesome. Yeah. I think I made one of those and then realized I needed to definitely hire an assistant.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
God.
So 3 deals in, you hire your first assistant. Okay.
I hired a part-time assistant my first year, and then it took me about 5 years of kind of fiddling around and falling and mostly failing forward, but spending money on stuff that didn't work, and realizing that I did things that were free that worked really well. So I really didn't build my business for the first 5 years as far as adding anybody. I did add an admin. So 2010 I had a full-time admin. 2009 and 10 I think I had a full-time administrative person, and then I brought on a buyer's agent. And my first buyer's agent did, I think she did 35 deals with me. An additional 35 deals, and then my next buyer's agent, she moved to Louisiana, and then my next buyer's agent crushed it. I mean, she did 100 deals her first year.
Wow.
And so how did
you do 100 deals her first year? Honestly,
she literally is a workhorse. I mean, she's still in the business, and she got in 2011. I came back from Mega Camp in September, and they talked about this idea of a showing specialist. And I was like, I've got to figure this out, because I really didn't want to show any more properties at that point. And so we got a showing specialist, and we fumbled on that a couple of times. And then once we packaged it right, just nailed it, and we've been doing it ever since.
So
really, yeah, I mean, it allows everybody to kind of do their one thing. And I hate to be cliche about Gary's book, but it's one person's out showing nothing but properties, and then those clients. And as long as you package it in the buyer consult correctly, I think that it works really well.
And it really does it because it eliminates you from doing a $12 an hour job when you can be doing $150 to $250 or $500 an hour job, which is negotiating contracts, writing contracts,
Right.
or listing a
Prospecting,
property.
yeah.
They can be the door monkey and go open up the door. They make money off it. They don't have the stress and everything on their shoulders like you do, but you're trained and you're a professional at it. They're a newbie or probably a newbie or just someone retired looking to make a few extra bucks. I mean,
Sure.
it makes a perfect world when you don't have to drive around in blazing hot sun.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
And the two of the girls that we have that are doing showing specialists, I mean, they don't even want to write offers. I mean, they love
so it's
showing.
perfect for them.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
One of them was a teacher before, and she was our open house specialist for a year while she was a teacher, and then came on as our showing specialist, and it just worked well.
Is that where you saw your business really shift? Is when you started putting showing specialists in, filling those voids where that time, 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back, 20 minutes at the house. I mean, that frees up a lot of time. You could be doing something else, right?
Yeah. Once we got specialized, everybody got a lot more efficient and a lot more productive, and everybody ultimately made more money. Yeah, you're sharing more deals, but you're making more money.
Yeah. On our team, we share Terry, Chris, and I, the three of us, we share everything evenly. And then we have a breakdown system for everything else on who gets what. But I mean, it makes everybody work as a cohesive team instead of independent agents under one flag, which I think is really important because everybody knows they got each other backs. It's a synergy that, an independent agent can never experience. I mean, if they go on vacation or get sick or they have a baby or whatever else, life changes on them, their business is on pause, or they give it to another agent in the office who may or may not handle their clients the same way that they do. But I think a team is the only way to go. I
think you're going to see more teams become a lot more, I think teams are going to become a lot more efficient, a lot more productive, and a lot more, I don't want to use the word corporate, but I think that you're going to see a lot of 8 and 10 and 12 and $15 million producers joining teams, because I think that there's a lot of people that go, you know what, I don't really want to do all this other stuff. I don't want to be the social media person. I don't want to post on Instagram. I don't want to do the contract to close. I just want to work with clients, and I'm willing to give up X amount of dollars for that.
Oh, yeah,
even if they could do it on their own. I think what people are starting to realize is finding talent and finding people that are strong work ethic, common sense, good attitude. It's a lot harder to find than people think.
You know what? That's totally right. It's like crowdsourcing for real estate. I mean, me write code, shit, that's not ever gonna freaking happen. Yeah. But me go out and be in front of a camera all day, every day. I mean, I'll be there all the time when, other people like our team manager, Eileen, I mean, she cringes and gets cold sweats thinking about being in front of a camera, but she'll keep our deal going A to B, B to C all day long. Yep. Find your strengths, build off of them. Don't build off of your weaknesses. It's going to drive you batshit crazy, and you're going to want to go, jump off a very tall bridge.
Pretty much.
No more paperwork.
Yeah. And I think the next shift in my business was probably somewhere. It was either late 2013, early 2014 when we implemented kind of the ISA model, the inside sales and inbound and outbound calling. So we've got people on salary that are bonused at closing, but they're just making calls, internet leads, sign calls, Dave Ramsey leads, whatever it is. So we're still working our sphere, but they're really calling a lot of the stuff that you get bogged down in.
Yeah. Very, very cool. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. So let's start with the inbound side of it, in the sense of the leads, the yard sign calls, and stuff like that. So are they going to your ISA team first, or are they coming around the backside and scrubbing after the leads have initially gone to your agents?
A little bit of both. It really kind of depends on how it's set up. So a lot of it is going directly, our Ring Central, a lot of it's going directly to our inside salespeople. So they know about all of our properties that are on the market, and they can answer any general questions. And then they either set an appointment in the office, or if it's just a regular inquiry, they're passing it over to the agent.
When you say setting an appointment in the office, do you mean do you guys actually try to set appointments for the buyers or sellers to come into the office, or you just mean, okay?
We're trying to set pre-approved. We're trying to set pre-approved in-office appointments. Just what we found is every time we meet somebody at a house, we never have a grasp on what they really are looking for or need. Versus if we do a 30 to 45-minute consult, even 30 minutes in the office, we are really dialed in on what their expectations are, what they expect from us, and whether we can deliver on it or not. And really, we sell them on our value proposition of all the coming soons and all the things off market, because our inventory is so tight. We're really finding a lot of deals with the relationships with other agents, networking with other agents, finding coming soons, make me moves, calling past clients that might want to sell in a neighborhood and upsize, downsize, or move out of town type thing. So we're just constantly digging.
Josh, you said something very interesting right there, but I don't think you really realize what you just said. Most other agents are fearful of other real estate agents, but you're intentionally going out and making inroads with other agents to get the inside information. Most people look at another agent like, oh my God, they're going to take my business. Like I can't tell, Josh, that I have this buyer or maybe upcoming listing or something like that.
Yeah, it's really a huge amount of our business. I mean, our relationships with our agents are huge just because we do so many deals that are off market or coming soon.
I had that mind shift 3 years ago when I became the head corporate trainer for Rockcliffe here. I viewed every other agent as the Antichrist, the spawn of Satan, and they all came up, with burning crowns and everything. I'm like, oh, you're going to take all my business, and that was a minimalistic mindset. And then I started realizing and learning that all these other agents are an amazing human beings with such good, values that I could learn off of and everything else with valuable information. So guys, those of you that are watching this live and those of you that are going to be watching this later, please understand what Josh and I are talking about. Go out and take the top producers or the medium producers or, just the new agent out to lunch. Be an avenue of giving and be willing to learn from them and stop being fearful of them. I mean, was it 70? You said 75% of your business comes from them or some large amount? Or
73% comes from past clients and our sphere. But it's one of those things that those are also agents. When we have a great transaction with an agent, you never know if any of those agents are just not, they're kind of stuck where they are in their office. Doesn't mean that they're happy. And so, when we have a great transaction, we tell them, hey, we're always looking for really great agents. If there's ever an opportunity to sit down and talk with you, or if we can be a resource for you and help you in any way, or if you are interested in joining a team, we'd love the opportunity to talk to you.
That's awesome, man.
Along with that, I mean, anytime I go to Starbucks or wherever, I mean, if there's a big long line somewhere and a barista or somebody is dealing with that many different personalities and they can keep a smile on their face, I give them my card and say, hey, if you ever want to get out of the coffee industry, here's my card. Call me. Real estate might not be a fit for you, but if it ever is, call me and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
How have you seen people reach back and say, hey, look, I am interested? I mean, because I think that's a genius thing. Absolutely genius.
We get calls all the time. I mean, but I connect. We do internships through a couple of the universities in town. I put interested in career cards everywhere. I mean, I'm constantly, it's for me, my business has shifted. Like I'm constantly looking for talent and simultaneously, but finding talent's a whole lot harder than finding an internet lead. I can tell you that.
You should go talk to Jeff Latham. And he's up out of Seattle or Pacific Northwest somewhere, Matt.
Yeah.
Dude, he's growing his business. You two should seriously connect. I think you guys would have a lot of fun talking together about building your teams and building your businesses and everything. He's a cool dude too.
I'll check it out. That's awesome.
All right, so let's get back to the ISAs, and we'll talk about how you guys cultivate the agent referrals. But I want to just quickly sum up on the outbound portion of the ISAs. So what types of calls are they making when they're calling pure outbound?
Pure outbound. We're doing circle prospecting. So if we have a buyer needs list, we're doing circle prospecting around 123 Main Street. One, to see if we can find sellers, but we really have this buyer need list, and if we can fill that, great. But anybody that we can call back, or if we sell some, we're working both angles there. So we're doing circle prospecting. We're getting one of our virtual assistants every Friday. She puts together a FSBO and make the move list off of Zillow. So it's got an ongoing list of zip codes broken out, price points. So we're sifting through that. Our ISAs are calling that. They're calling any sign calls that come in, any Zillow leads. She uses Boomtown as Conversion as our back end, kind of similar to Boomtown, Tiger Leads. So we're using that back end as far as the CRM platform to stay in touch with people. So they're really calling a little bit of everybody. I mean, when we have client events, which we do a lot more client events, and we've started spending more of our dollars toward client events, she helps us call through those after they get an email, after they get text messages. We're picking up the phone and we're all calling them, just saying, hey, we just want to make sure you got that email, and we're having an event at the Titans game or whatever it is.
You take a large amount of people to like a big block of a game, like in a party bus or something like that. Have you found that to be more effective, or maybe doing something at your home or one of your, or maybe at a country club or a high-end restaurant? What have you found to be the most effective for client events?
So we do like 3 or 4 happy hours a year for clients, and then we do one family event, one regular event, and then we usually do a referral, like a client referral, any client that has referred us business in town. So we've done minor league baseball, we've done the football, we've done movies. I would say movie, we probably had the most people show up, but the problem with the movie is once the movie starts, you have no interaction with your client. I didn't think that one through really well. I was like,
damn it.
Like, wow, 73 people showed up and nobody actually, we don't get to talk to any of them. Right?
Nobody talked to anybody for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Really
the most boring movie is what you're saying. Yeah.
The best, most casual things are doing like a good happy hour on like a Wednesday or Thursday, pay for everything, have a big patio. We're doing one in November that's going to be an event space, and it's for our top 50 referral sources,
awesome.
in-town referral sources. So it's like a sit-down dinner. I mean, it's real invitations. My wife sent me the invitations today, and so it's all done by, nice stationery, and it'll be really nice. It's probably a $6,000 or $7,000 event.
Have you ever thought about, I've heard this story or idea, and I want to see maybe if you guys do this, sending out basically wedding invitations, like that style of an invitation to the event?
That's what today, the one that my wife sent me today is like really nice.
Super high end.
Yeah, they're super high end. And all these are all people that are business owners, high end clients, really good referral sources that, I mean, when you look at $5,000 or $7,000 or $10,000, it's a lot of money, but not really when you're looking at somebody bringing in, several $100,000 in commissions.
Right, but I mean, the great thing is these people, they're seeing that you're grateful for what they're doing for you, and you're not afraid to show it to them.
Yep.
And you know what? They feel good about that. Even if they can't make the event, they feel good about getting the high quality, invitation, being invited to this event.
Yeah.
That they like that, and they're going to talk about it. Like, oh man, I'm so bummed I didn't get to go to Josh's event this year. Damn it. God, I remember going to that. We're gonna do it next year. Something like that.
Yeah, and I think other things we've done. I mean, we do a lot of housewarming parties. We just try to do a lot of things that housewarming parties are awesome because we spend $250, $300. Invite 20. They usually get to invite 25 people. We do real invitations. We do the email. We do text message. We call them once they've RSVP'd, and all those people get to show their house off. And we get to introduce ourselves as their realtor. And immediately they're like, well, my realtor didn't do this for me, whatever.
My realtor sucks, man. Cheap bastard. Yeah. All he did was buy me a Domino's pizza and bailed.
Now, is that
a good event,
certain price points, or, I mean, do you limit that in any way for housewarming?
No, it's anybody that wants to do. I mean, if it's a bigger price point, we might spend more money and do, but it's one of those things that we kind of offer that to anybody because we feel like it doesn't really matter. It's about the relationship, not the price.
Yeah, Josh, we do the same thing. We also then go out and we mail to the 250 closest people right around that property to invite them in. And I'm sure you guys do the same thing, but we're just the butlers and the wait staff. We're getting water, we're getting a beer, we're getting the soda, clearing the plates, interacting with them, because people will start talking to you. And that's it is so powerful. And it's a great way you can leverage using those parties with that buyer to break into the potential of that new marketplace without, and if it was heavily, marketed to you by a dominant agent, you can break into that marketplace by using these parties because you're now the cool, fun, hip, awesome agent that the other, douchebag, isn't doing these types of parties.
That's right. It's easy. People think, I tell other agents when I go to a market center or somewhere, they're like, that's a genius idea. And I'm like, I guess. I don't think it is really. I mean, to me, it's just kind of, I mean, it seems like common sense. It's like you close the deal and it kind of just finishes off the final touches.
Yeah, man,
and it's the last time you get to see them for a while too.
Yeah, it's fun. And you get some free food. We bring a burrito guy in. You know, they make these big ass freaking burritos, bro. I mean, these things will choke a donkey, but they're so damn good.
Awesome.
And some beer. Oh, it's like, well, I'm gonna throw myself a party and just call it yours.
Yeah, right.
My evil plan is working.
Awesome.
Choke a donkey. All right, so let's get into the agent referral part. So share with me a little bit, like how did you come to build this kind of network of agents in the first place, and then how do you stay in touch with them to kind of nurture those relationships?
Yeah, I think initially it was going to these conferences and collecting cards and giving my card out and really being a resource for them, no matter whether I could be a resource or just having calls with them. And I think it got to a point where then I started getting on panels, and maybe people started seeing me a little bit as an authority as far as certain things, and really just I created a agent newsletter, and we try to add value in those. Either leave hey, here's a script that worked really well for us, or here's an idea that we've been using in our business that really has worked well. And we've probably got 20,000 agents on that newsletter. I mean, it's a huge number, but it's not even that. It's that coupled with making those phone calls. And really, when somebody refers you business, they want to know that their client's getting taken care of, and they want a referral check. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to. And very, very, very rarely do they not. I mean, like, I got a referral over the weekend. Well, the guy ended up not buying through us. He ended up his brother referred him a deal, another agent. And I said, that's fine. Yes. Which is, yeah, right. But it's fine. I said, if it doesn't work out, the amount of times that things don't work out and they come back to us because we stay in touch with them it's a pretty high percentage. So I just said, look, if I can be a resource for you in the future, I'd love the opportunity. And it's just constantly trying to be a resource for the agent as well as the client.
Do you ever use the orphan program? Are you familiar with that one?
I have. I don't know if it's a particular program you're talking about, but we used to do a lot of orphan, knowing people weren't going to stay in touch with their clients. Mm-hmm. We 123 Main Street, and we just have it hashtagged in our contact types. So we could just pull those people, 3 or 4 times a year and just call through the list.
Yeah. All the people that, Matt Johnson, the real estate agent over at Remax, who nobody likes.
Yeah,
right. Matt's like, he's waiting to smile. He's like, what's going to happen next?
No, I'm just waiting for it to get worse, progressively worse. Like, my wife gets fatter and my kids get angrier and surlier and more disrespectful, and soon they're going to juvenile detention or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I mean, your drug habits really kind of kept you out of the game. Now Josh is going to swoop in and take care of those sellers that you dropped.
Exactly. Yeah.
Only could drop.
Yeah. My heavy drinking to compensate for my horrible family life. Anyway, all right.
7-day binge.
That's right. So, Josh, you mentioned before we went on the air, and I wanted to make sure you got a chance to cover this on the air, which is that you kind of have these agents off in a separate database, and you're actually sending different content to them to stay in touch. So you're not just dumping them, like we mentioned this before we started recording. You hate when other agents just kind of dump you into their general database and send you the same stuff they're sending to buyers and sellers. So if you don't want to do that to agents and you want to send out different content to them, what are you sending them?
Again, it's so it's really I mean, the content is just a newsletter on a monthly basis that goes out, and it can be scripts that have worked well for us, or here's our housewarming party checklist, or here's what we do for client events, or here's a book that we read as a team that we really liked. Here were the 5 things we took away from it. Just like little nuggets that it's not all of our it's not the same stuff over and over that you see canned and generic. And I think people, our branding is pretty good as far as, the graphics are good, and it's just not a canned newsletter out of Top Producer. It's very custom, and it's very well thought through every month. And somebody else on the team does it, so it's not like I'm sitting there doing it, but it's well done, and I proof everything and approve it. And but it's that, and it's meeting with those people at conferences. It's picking up the phone and calling them and asking them if you can help them. It's just being top of mind. And that's how we closed 48 transactions last year that were agent referral, was just being a resource and knowing that the deal is going to get done when it's given to us or to our team. we're going to take care of them the same way they would. And we
That's
also
awesome.
ask them what expectations, like, is this a client of yours? Is this actually a client of yours, or is this like an internet lead that came to your website? That there's a big difference. And if it's a client of yours, tell me what their disc profile is. What is their personality like? What they might not work well with me. They might work with somebody on our team, and it doesn't really matter as long as they're taken care of. And people are always trying to put them. Oh, this is my buyer's agent. This is who they have to work with, and it's not really that way. We want it to be catered and custom for them.
No, I think that's absolutely genius, because that is one of the most important things. That's how I leverage our team. My father is, I think, 65-ish. I don't know, maybe 63. Probably shoot me. Chris, he's 10 years and 5 days older than me, so I'm 37. So he's 47, and then I'm 37. Then Eileen's a little bit younger than I am, and then Midori's 25. So we have all these different age gaps here. And there's been countless times, Josh, that I've said, okay, I am not the best person for this lead that I found. I'm going to send in the silverback, aka my dad. Get him in there. And I call him the silverback to his face.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
Yeah, send in the silverback. Or maybe it's a family with 3 kids that are a little bit older. Maybe their kids are about ready to go to college. Well, then Chris is the better person to go talk to them. Me, right. I'm a first or second home buyer person. Midori is the first time home buyer. There's all these different things. Like you said, you don't have to be the go-to all encompassing agent.
Right.
Use and leverage the people around you. You're gonna get more deals out of it. It's gonna free your time up.
Yep.
And clients will be happier and more likely to refer you on top of that.
Exactly. Right. More money for everybody.
All right. So Josh, in the last few minutes that we have left, what's the next step for you? What's the next step in the evolution of your team, and what's the next set of goals?
I think I think a big piece is really just constantly looking for talent, trying to create better systems. And as you get bigger or do different price point or whatever it is, it's really just constantly trying to make your systems and processes better. I think that's something that's been lagging in the real estate industry for so long. You've got all these companies that have real operation manuals and they have real systems and processes, and agents are like, they're just flying by the seat of their pants, and they're like, oh, well, I feel like for me, if we have to do it more than once, it should be a system or process, and it should be broken down well enough. I've got 4 and 6-year-old boys, like maybe not for them to understand, but like 10-year-olds, like it should be easy for a 10 or 12-year-old to understand. And if it needs to be, it's kind of like when Dell, and maybe they still do it, but you'd call Dell support and you'd talk to an Indian and person, and it'd be like, go to the start button, and you're like, all right, I'm like 6 steps past that, but they're reading off of a checklist. They really are. And so the system has to be broken down enough for it to be easy and very understandable.
Yeah, I always say that it needs to be big buttons and colors.
That's right.
I'm not.
I love it. No,
I'm the same way. I can follow that shit. I mean, you make small print black and white. Oh, I'm gone.
No.
Way too much WORK. Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. I tell my team, if you're sending me an email and it's more than like the length of a tweet, I'm out.
That is like every high D rainmaker I've ever heard.
Oh my God!
I know, I'm super high D, ADD. I don't know what it is, but I don't want more than 2 or 3 sentences max.
No.
You send me 6 paragraphs and I'm out. I'm deleting it. I get anxiety.
Yeah, dude, I do not ask Greg if I email him at all. I don't ask him more than 1 question in an email. Like it literally has to be in chunks.
Just a quick text message.
Yes. Yeah. It's quick little something. I can gnaw on it and spit it right back out. But it means shit, man. 6 paragraphs. Shit, man. 2 paragraphs.
You're out after 1.
Yeah.
If I emailed something to Jeff Cohn that was longer than about 3 lines, he'd be like, delete.
Yeah, just call me. Damn it.
Just call me. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And then Matt's a millennial who voluntarily has admitted that he will not listen to my voice or video text messages that I send him because it's an inconvenience to listen to something. What the is wrong with this picture?
One of the girls that works with me told me about a year and a half ago, she was like, I don't check my voicemail. I was like, you're in an industry where you have to check your voicemails. Of course, she's like 27, and I go,
naturally.
Yeah, so you can't fight it. Just have them transcribed, and like in the voicemail message, I think I re-recorded mine to say something to the effect of, I don't regularly check my voicemail, so the best way to reach me is by emailing or texting this number.
Yeah.
I might as well just come to terms with it and let everybody else know what the expectations are. But
That's
anyway,
right.
It sucks because I listen to his voicemail.
I could create a whole info product on how to talk to entrepreneurs for that exact reason. Because Josh, you know what it's like for all of your other team members, especially your admin staff. They don't get it. They do not relate. They do not understand what it's like to be in your position, and they expect you to receive this 6-paragraph email, carefully read it,
they
and
send me
type
Friday,
a page-long response.
Yeah, they send me Friday updates, and then they're like, on Monday I ask them something, and they're like, "Did you not read my Friday update?" And I'm like,
No.
"Your Friday update had like 42 properties in it and 7 questions, and like horrors." I skim over it real fast. So.
And then go completely blank. You're like, what did I just read? Oh shit, I'm not reading that again. Delete. I'll talk to him on Monday.
Exactly.
Perfect.
All right, so Josh, refresh everyone's memory on the areas that you serve and what's the best way to reach you if they want to send a referral to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nashville, Tennessee. So we work really all of Middle Tennessee, but Nashville is the metro area. And then as far as you can find us online. It's joshandersonrealestate.com. Obviously, my email is josh@joshandersonrealestate.com. You might or might not get a response from me via email, but you can try.
Make it one sentence, people, and you
one sentence. That's
probably. Right. I want to sell my house. Period. Done.
Right.
Done.
I have a referral for you.
I have a referral for you. Call me at blah blah. Yeah.
Love it.
Much easier.
All right, Greg. And then quickly, what's the McDaniel Challenge? Refresh everyone's memory on that.
McDaniel Challenge, guys, is going to be an epic evening of you and I spending some quality one-on-one time together. Ooh, Q Barry White. No, guys, get together with me. It's an hour to 2 hours of free coaching, and is capital FREE. There are no strings attached. I'm not going to like bamboozle you and then ask for a credit card or, hey, sign up for this like $10,000 a month coaching program. No, it's nothing like that. It's 100% free. It's because I love each and every one of you guys. I want to see you guys become epically successful. If you think that you're not ready, you are my perfect client. You are definitely going to be ready. Shit, by the time it reaches you, you're going to be ready at this time. I mean, as of this date right now, so we're on October 3rd recording this of 2016. April, no, scratch that from the record. May 16th is going to be my next time, guys. May 16th, it's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys want to come out and do it, we're going to talk about anything that's stopping you, blocking you, hindering you from getting to where you want to be or should be in this business. Look, guys, I'm nothing special. I'm literally just a real estate agent guy that's been around some of the best in the business and have been able to soak in a lot of knowledge. And I've been doing it for 17 years. So maybe I'll be able to help you get out of where you are. I'm a third party that, maybe we can just look at something a little bit differently. I haven't failed anybody yet, so let's not make you the first. So sign up for the McDaniel Challenge. Best way to get a hold of me, guys, follow me on Facebook. Don't friend. Follow me, because I don't have any more friend slots. Facebook's a dick, and they won't let me have more than 5,000. Or you guys can call me on or text me on my cell phone. If you're millennial, text. If you're older than millennial, you can call 925-915-1978. Again, 925-915-1978, and book your time on the McDaniel Challenge, guys. Get that fence pole out of your butt, because it's painful to sit on that fence forever, and let the fun begin.
All right, cool.
Very pleasant imagery at the very end, though.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very pleasant.
That's a splinter. That's a splinter.
All right. And coming up on the show for the rest of this week, we've got Adam Olson on Wednesday, who has become the top listing agent in his market down there in the Houston area in less than 3 years. This is a guy in his early 20s. Wow. He is absolutely killing it, and we're going to talk to him about how he's built up his listing business. And then on Friday, we've got Kathleen Black, who is out of the great country of Canada, our neighbor to the north, and has consulted and helped some of the top teams both in Canada and the U.S. grow. She is a consultant and coach to real estate teams, and so we're going to talk with her about how to build teams. So it's going to be a killer rest of the week, guys. Until then, and our next episode, we appreciate it. Make sure to follow us across all platforms. I am pursuing results across all platforms. Friend me on Facebook, and then Greg, your Snapchat, I believe, is REU444, if I remember right.
It is. I am snapping less than I should be, but also go check it out on Instagram. Guys, seriously, just go find me on Facebook, okay? the devilishly good-looking guy in the suit looking backwards. And all of my past regrets, I'm letting them go. No, I don't know. It's a freaking model shot. Okay. Anyways, go find me, guys. Follow me on Facebook and let's interact. I go live on the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections page every single day doing circle prospecting. If you're not a part of Lead Gen Scripts and Objections, go become a part of it now. You'll learn a ton about cold calls or FSBOs and expires from Aaron Wittenstein, the founder of that site.
Sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you to you and to everybody that's watching and listening. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Later.
Thanks for the opportunity.